Alright, hey guys, this is my deck profile on Dragonic Overlord, the X V series. Hope you guys enjoy this. And let's get started. For my starter, you can run anything. This is just preference at this point. And let's get to the main deck, the juicy juice. First, we're going to be running 4 copies of Dragonic Overlord, the X. So the X is going to be your Vanguard always, unless you have some troubles. So what the X essentially does is gain the effect of another Overlord from deck by Soul Blasting one and searching your deck for an Overlord, putting into Soul, gain its effects and names. So X is really good because of, well, the one Overlord we're going to talk about afterwards. So what else X does is when counting your cards in your hand for your effects, it's always counted as 0. So it really helps out for the end. And also, when your opponent's grade 3 or greater, your drive cannot become less than 0. So yeah, so 4 copies of X. Then on to the other grade 3. 4 copies of Dragonic Overlord, the End. So the End is just crazy good with the X. So what the End does is Vanguard Circle. At the end of the battle you attacked, activate one of these effects. You can only activate one of these effects once per turn. First effect is Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1, restand the Vanguard, and -1 drive. The second effect is restand by discarding 3 cards with plus 10,000 power. So since you cannot dip to 0 drives, you'll always be at minimum 1 drive because of X's effect. And since it says, the second effect, so when you discard 3, you have to have 4 less cards in hand. If I remember that correctly, if your soul has... Oh no, sorry, that's the Counterblast and Soul Blast effect. Yeah, when you have 4 less cards in your hand, Counterblast, Soul Blast 1, restand the unit. So that's the first part. So that first part's Dex helps with it. But even then, counting as 0, it does help proc the effects. Moving on to our grade 2s, we have 4 Igni Roads. So Igni Roads is going to be our helper aggro and also our main searcher. What Igni Road does is when placed on Vanguard or Rearguard Circle, look at the top 7 cards of the deck and add a Dragonic Overlord, the X, from the top 7. You do not have to discard for this, so it's amazing. Also, when it's on Rearguard Circle, when your Vanguard attacks, if your hand has 4 or less cards, this gets plus 5,000 power. So since you're attacking like 3 times with Dragonic Overlord, the X, it's going to get a plus 15k boost, so it's going to swing at your opponent for 25, just in case you couldn't push them with X to death. So 4 copies of Igni Road Dragon. Then moving on, our next grade 2 is going to be Torrid Cannon Dragon. So what Torrid Cannon is basically Counterblast 1 once per turn, activate, put a normal unit from your drop zone to the bottom of the deck, choose one of your opponent's rear guards and retire it, and then if your hand has 4 or less cards, draw a card. So basically, you want to keep on sending N back to the deck, because I've encountered so many situations where N gets checked into damage, I healed it out, or I just have too many copies of N in my hand, and I just need to get it back in the deck so I can proc X's effect again. So yeah. Also, it's nice that you can retire something, and also that you draw if you have 4 or less cards in your hand, which you will definitely have after grade 3. Or grade 3 or beyond. Then we have 4 Wyvern Strike Decat. So what Decat does is make your opponent's life like fucking hell. So for Counterblast 1, activate, put this unit into the soul from Rearguard Circle, choose one of your Dragonic Overlord that ends. Your opponent, when your opponent would guard from their hand, they would have to at minimum guard with 2 cards for the turn. So this has come up so many times. If you see my videos, some of my opponents do complain like, God damn, that guard restrict really hurts. So this is an MVP card right here. Then we have the 1 copy of Power Rise Elixir. So the reason why I'm running 1 copy is because A, you don't want to see it early game. B, when you see it late game, it's like, it's butter. It is free money. So for Counterblast 2, choose one of your units, gets plus 20,000 power. When you're swinging with Dragonic Overlord, the X over and over again, for like, let's just say it's the X and you have the End's effects, you're swinging for 33,000 every time unless you proc the secondary effect of End, which gives another plus 10,000. So you're swinging for 33, 43, then 43. So it just makes your opponent's shield value, like, their hand size just goes down completely. So I would consider running 2. Sometimes you just don't see it, and sometimes you just need it. I might run 2 in the future and cut 1 Wyvern Strike because I see enough copies of this card. But overall, I do like this at 1. Maybe bump it to 2. It's a flex option. You guys can run anything else. Like, you could run Burn Rise Dragon. You could run, you know, something else if you like a little bit more aggro. Personally, my favorite card in the deck because it's funny. Then onto our grade 1s. Our grade 3 Searcher, Lava Flow Dragon. So if you guys know grade 3 Searchers, Searcher's grade 3 from top 5. Discard 1 for that grade 3. So simple. Then we have 4 copies of Heatshot Dragon. Heatshot Dragon is an incredible card. So when placed on Vanguard Circle, you get to draw a card. First, when placed on Vanguard Circle, discard a card, then draw a card. But you're using it for the second effect. When on basically Rearguard Circle, at the end of the battle that your Vanguard, a grade 3 Vanguard attacked and it boosted it, if that Vanguard stood, you stand. So if you're swinging with X, it's always going to be so you swing with X. X is 13k. This is boosted with this 21. You're always going to swing for 21 during that turn because you're restanding with your Vanguard. It's a great 8k, just a little power boost, and also not a bad Vanguard effect. Sometimes you want to cycle through. Like, you have an end in your hand and you want to discard it, draw 1. Then we have Calamity Tower Wyvern. Calamity Tower Wyvern basically steroids up your Vanguard even more. So activate Soul Blast 1, retire this unit, choose one of your Vanguards, and it gets plus 15,000 power for the turn. So yeah, you want to keep on steroiding up your Vanguard so you can become an unstoppable juggernaut. And that's all the grade 1s. Onto our trigger lineup. We're going to be running 12 critical triggers. You do not want to run draws in this deck. I tried with draws, and you just want to see criticals. You want to end the game as fast as possible. You want to see like 2 crits off your first 2 drive checks, and then it just makes everything so threatening. 12 criticals is just the perfect ratio. Then we have the new grade 3 heals. I don't run the 20Ks anymore because you just don't want to get aggroed by Excel. Sometimes the -2 crit really does come in handy. And overall, your shield value is not terrible at all. Like, the 30k Sentinels do a good job. And this honestly is a really good option. Yeah, so that's the deck profile. Oh yeah, also to mention, this is a Force 2 deck because you want to be 2 criticals. Since my deck X, you're going to focus on climbing power with your rear guards. So you're going to be Force 2. So you can always do 2 damage, always threaten them with those drive checks. So yeah, thank you guys for watching my deck profile. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll be posting even more deck profiles in the future. Probably going to do Dimensional Robo next. See you guys.